Hey y'all, welcome to Folks Who May Be New to Me or the Named Advocates. My name is Carrie Gray and I identify as a Black disabled woman. I'm also the founder of the National Alliance of Melanin Disabled Advocates. We go by the Named Advocates, and our content is all about racial and disability justice. This particular video is inspired by tales of Black liberation and specifically Juneteenth. The discussion question that I'm asking today: how can we imagine Black disabled people during Juneteenth? So first, let's get into some context. So President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863, that freed all of the slaves, those who have been enslaved across our country. However, the proclamation generally relied upon the advancement of Union troops for enforcement. Texas, which was my home state, and was one of the most remote states and had a low presence of Union troops after the American Civil War. So Juneteenth celebrates June 19th, 1865, which was the day that Major General Gordon Granger and Union soldiers came to Texas and enforced the end of slavery. Y'all, that was the day that over 250,000 Black folks across Texas were freed. Mind you, Juneteenth occurred 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, and it was still a celebration. Juneteenth has always been about celebrating Black people and Black culture. Juneteenth celebrations may include things such as parades, singing, church celebration, plays, voter registration drives, rodeos, cookouts, family reunions, Miss Juneteenth contests, and so much more. Over the years, Juneteenth expanded from just a Texas celebration and became a holiday that celebrated Black culture and Black liberation across the country. And in 2021, it became a federally recognized holiday. However, our understanding of Juneteenth largely comes from the stories that are told by able-bodied people. You may have grown up hearing the stories of Black folks walking from Texas to states up north, anywhere to get away from their former slaveholders' home. You may have seen or even participated in celebratory spaces that largely showed able-bodied people outside having a great time or participating in activities such as marches, which are often very physically demanding. Policy consultant from the Autistic Women and Non-Binary Network says, quote, "Without taking away from the celebratory aspect of this holiday, I implore you to reconsider freedom, what it means, and for who it was meant," end quote. There is no doubt that Black disabled people had to plan their journey toward freedom and emancipation in a different way. They had to plan for seizures, canes, diabetes, and quite honestly, many were not able to leave their slave owners' home due to a lack of access. Even today, many celebratory spaces are inaccessible. We need organizers, schools, and companies to plan for accessible events, marches, and festivals. Many folks don't consider the linkage between disability justice and Juneteenth, because Black people with disabilities are often left out of history. Without the stories of our disabled ancestors, it can be hard to imagine what emancipation looked like for Black disabled people. And although we rarely hear the stories, Black disabled people have always been instrumental to Black liberation. Harriet Tubman, for instance, an iconic abolitionist who had a traumatic brain injury and epilepsy that produced the seizures that we often hear about. Fannie Lou Hamer, a civil rights leader who had polio as a child and developed a limp after being beat in prison. Brad Lomax, a member of the Black Panther Party and disability activist who had multiple sclerosis or MS. Even today, when you look at all the disabled folks who have participated in celebrations and protests through the named advocates, these are the examples of how important Black disabled people have been a part of emancipation. When I imagine Black disabled people on Juneteenth, I imagine a group of disabled and able-bodied people alike getting together and planning an accessible journey towards a new life. I imagine interdependence and fierce knowledge that all Black disabled lives matter. What do you think? What do you imagine when you think of Black disabled people during emancipation? Let me know in the comments below. All right, so there's 3 call to actions, 3 things that I want to recommend as we further infuse disability justice throughout our history and throughout our future. The first one is to tell fuller stories of the experiences of Black people and Black liberation. Nigerian feminist Chimamanda Adichie defined power as, quote, the ability to not just tell the story of another person, but to make it the definite story of that person, end quote. We have to claim power by telling fuller stories of what it genuinely means to seek Black liberation. The second thing I want to say is to challenge your understanding of emancipation. There was an incredible article by history professor Dr. Jim Jones, and he says, quote, examining the experiences of disabled free slaves is necessary, and not only because it draws attention to the population of the ex-slave community that had been otherwise neglected. Moreover, the experience of disabled free slaves forces us to reconsider our understanding of the process of emancipation, end quote. What is your process as you're going towards your journey of freedom and liberation? Does it include the diversity of our community, including Black disabled people? All right, so finally, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the Named Advocates YouTube page and follow us across social media if you're looking for more content around racial and disability justice. If you're looking to understand more about Black disability politics, I want to encourage you to link into the Named Advocates. Stay connected, stay tuned in. Until next time. All right, y'all.